Yeah, it's your boy Girl here, back with another video, and today I got a special day, guys, man. Today we're back with a Tournament of Power Season 95 Best Teams. This intro is it's probably gonna be a little bit more. I'm gonna talk a little bit more on the intro, so if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, subscribe to the channel. Road to 16K, I think we might have hit it, or we might be even super close, so I appreciate the love and support, even though the LegendsNEWZ hasn't been the best. But we still keep making these videos. So anyways, you guys know that every season they always change up the tiers of certain teams and stuff. So sometimes you might see certain characters that I favor more than the others on certain seasons because they drop them down, they bring them up and everything like that. And I also want to start trying out newer teams. I actually did a Vegeta clan team last season, and two of you guys actually tried it out and said the team actually ran pretty well. So I'm still trying to look at different teams, add more teams into these videos. I know that they're an hour long, but I just want to give you guys a lot more options and everything because I know that there's way more teams than I'm recommending here. So I actually want to add more teams in here, and there's a few teams that I might not really add in because I just don't have the units. So for example, I want to make a good Majin Buu strike based team, but I don't have Fusion Vegeta, I don't have Majin Vegeta, so I could maybe edit it in a sense. I could do that, or for example, like a blast based movies. Like there's like certain characters that I don't have, like Ultra Turles or Triku, that I wish I can build, and I wish that I had every character in the game. But there's some teams that it's gonna be a little bit trickier for me to build because I just don't have that character to show you guys and everything. So definitely I apologize for that, but I am going to try to keep adding more teams. And if you guys are rocking teams that I'm not mentioning in these type of videos, comment down below the team setups, the tag that you're rocking, and explain it and everything, and then I can add that onto these videos, help other people out as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the first team, which is going to be Regen. Alright, so for the first team here, you guys know this Regen, is my main team. Nothing changes. Nothing changes with my team. Like, I'm not really going to change much about the main 6 here that I have. We have 3 C tier units, so basically the LF cell is back on C tier. It is what it is. I can't really complain about that, but 3 C tiers is really like the max kind of units or C tier units that I want to have on my team builds anyway. So having 3 is not bad. And this team is kind of just based off just getting a lot of blue cards, guaranteed blue cards. You have Bootangs here, you have LF Piccolo that guarantees one every match, and then you have a character like CMZ that pretty much can get one every single match because the way every time he lands a card, he gets 20% and he heals and he gets damage inflicted buff. So he just does a lot of damage. And then Cell, depending on if you face a certain amount of like Saiyans and stuff, he gets higher key restore speed. And most of the good characters in the games are going to be Saiyans, right? Ultras and LFs. They're most likely going to have Saiyans and hybrids characters of Gohan. So Cell just has a really good kit, double offensive Z abilities for the team, and then he gives great debuffs. So I always like rocking this is my setup, right? And then Green DKP, a free to play character. He's in the S tier, so that's like a really high value. And then the debuffs that he gives for the enemies and stuff. I know he attacks pretty slow, but I really do like him a lot. And then when it comes to my other backup characters, I have EX Piccolo for more healing. And then I also have PJ. PJ is a S tier character. So if I want to take out CMZ for a better red, I have him. So this is really like my main team. And in terms of the replacements here, for the backup characters, which you guys can use, if you guys don't have PJ, I know a lot of you guys don't have him. You guys have EX Omega. You guys know how good EX Omega is. I always used to rock him. Really good character. I use him a ton. He could make it to my main 6. I could take Bootangs out and rock him, but I like about Bootangs is he gets the guaranteed blue card, so I can snipe out a red, right? For example, another good S tier character is this red transforming Cell. He's a character that transforms at the end of the 2nd turn. He gets great buffs. He's a strike-based character, but he still gets it done. It's a really valuable S tier character. And then after that, you have EX Evil Boo. Now you're gonna go to the Z tier spots. Depending on how you build your Regen team, if you have a lot of PO characters, then definitely rocking Super Baby 2, the EX one. And then also you have Nail. Nail's not bad. Really great Z ability, reminiscences of LF Cell with the double offense there. and second Zenkai second form cell. Now he doesn't buff regen, he only buffs blue, but I would say EXNL and Super Baby 2 for the Z tier spots, and then for the S tier, you got the green EX Piccolo, PJ, DKP, you got Omega Shenron, you got Red Transforming Cell, and you have Zenkai Evil Boo as well. So yeah, in terms of the replacements for each color, purple is like the toughest color. It's kind of like the worst color of regen in my opinion. So for Cell, you guys can use the Garlic Jr., Red Ribbon Army Piccolo, Purple 21, and then you also have the Free to Blaze Super Boo. Those are pretty much the best purples that I like on the team. In terms of the blue options, you do, like I said, you guys have EX Omega and Evil Boo for the Zenkai. Then after that, here for the other blues that you guys can rock on your team, there was a Metal Cooler, free to play Metal Cooler I really like a lot. And then for the C tier spots, depending on your setups, like you guys can do like LF Kid Boo and Zamasu for a blast based regen team. Ultra Remember is really good as well. You guys can rock him similar to like what CMZ is, where you guys just make him his attack pattern is blast. You can set that, you can do that for him as well. For Janemba, he's a really good character that can just do blast and strike. So in terms of the yellow, you guys can rock Ultra Kid Boo. He's strike based, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to build a strike based region team, which is why I'm not going to show a lot of the strike based characters. But you guys do have this Majin Buu. He's really good here. Gives support and key recovery for your allies depending on where he is placed. So I really do like that a lot. Raid Shenron is really good. Every time he gets hit with a strike, can't move, and I think he gets hit with a blast, I think he gets like extra buffs as well. Zenkai Cell is not bad as well. He ramps up every time he lands a card, and he heals at the end of each turn. And he also has this free to play perfect form cell as well. Now in terms of the green, you guys can go with Fat Boo here if you want more healing. You guys got Evil Boo here. I do like Evil Boo a lot. I do like Omega Shenron, and I do like Cryon. Those are the C tier greens now. Any other colors besides them that's not in the C tier spot, I would go with Baby Trunks. He's just not a bad character. Does pretty much damage. That's pretty much all he is. And then other than that, there really isn't anybody else. He's a free to play unit. You guys should have him at 14 stars. The only character that you can't really replace for real is gonna be Super Baby 2. When it comes to the red options for regen, like I said, you do have PJ, you do have Red Transforming Cell. And then after that, you have Buhan here. And you have Zenkai Red Cooler. Now, since he's in the A tier spot, I'd rather go with Buhan here, since he's not in the S tier. That's usually one of our favorite, what's the name, is in the S tier spot. But in terms of the B tier, you do have Goku Piccolo. They're finally out of the C tier spots. I'm glad, because they're definitely not a C tier character in my opinion. I definitely think they're B. And then you also have Zenkai Red 21 there as well. I think that's all the colors that I mentioned on this team. Let's hop into the next team, which will be a strike base variant of regen. So stay tuned. Alright, so for the next team, we have a strike base variant of regen. So there's a few different options that you guys can do now when it comes to the regen options for the strike base teams. For most of these colors, it's going to be very niche, or if very limited, because regen is just a better blast based team than strike based team. But if you do have these characters, you guys can definitely pull it off. Now for the strike based team, you definitely really want to have CMZ. I mean, CMZ is just, no matter if you rock him on blast or strike, he's just that good of a character, bro. Like he ramps up, he heals, he gets a guaranteed blue card pretty much every match in a sense. Really powerful. Super Baby 2, regardless of blast or strike, you need him, because he just the healing that he gives for the team is just too good. It's the most, like, he's too valuable. You need Super Baby 2. Now when it comes to these other characters, you have replacements. Now I know a lot of you guys don't have Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. is more on the strike base side. You guys see their extra damage strike base. He heals every time he transforms at the end of the second turn, I believe, which is really nice. And he gives his allies immunity. So there's a lot of debuff goes on TOP. So he is really powerful. So if you guys do have him, really good. And then not only that, he is giving damage inflicted buff and health restoration for his allies as well. So characters that heals themselves like organically without Super Baby 2, you can kind of put them on the left and the right. So like I said, I have Ultra Kid Buu here. Ultra Kid Buu, every time he lands, pretty much every time, like at the end of the second and third turn, he he's healing. That's really powerful there. Every time he gets hit, he heals. That's really good. Then you have green DKP here. You know he's blast based, but he's just the best green in the S tier spot. He heals, he gives debuffs. And then you have red Cell here, another strike based character. And then you have Super Baby 2. And then in terms of the Z tier spots, or the backup spots, I decided to go with Super Baby 2 and Nail just because you know, he's more of a strike based character, so you definitely want to rock him. He gets extra damage inflicted per GT or PO. So this is more of a PO team. Every character here is PO. You don't really see a lot of Piccolo strike based characters, right? Like Orange Piccolo and everything like that. I just don't think they're the best in terms of TOP. And then you have Nail for Z tier spots. If you want more healing though, you could just take Nail out and then put in this yellow Piccolo here. Or if you just want to go with another blast character like Omega or PJ, you guys can do that as well. So in terms of the replacements, let's start off with yellow. So yellow, if you don't have Kid Buu, then Super Baby 2. Super Baby 2, the LF one, is really good against Saiyans. He gets extra buffs for his allies. So we face a lot of Saiyans in these matches. And then at the end of the third turn, he's getting his gauge by 30 and he heals himself by 3% and he ramps up over time and stuff. So really good character if you don't have Ultra Kid Buu. And if you don't have him, then I'll go with Zenkai Cell. He's more strike based. Like I said, at the end of each turn, he heals himself by 2%. And then he ramps up every time he lands a strike in Blast card. Really good character. Really good character. So I think those are like the best strike based yellows for regen, right? Then after that here, we're going to go with green. Really the best character is Fat Buu. If you want to put in Fat Buu, you guys can definitely do that. So if you want to use another C tier character, take out green DKP and take him out. And if you guys don't have Garlic Jr., what you guys can do here is you guys can put Fat Buu there. Now the reason why I like Fat Buu near CMZ and Kid Buu is because I believe he actually he just gives less healing, and since they healed himself, they don't really need the constant healing from Super Baby 2. So you guys can put Fat Buu there. You'll have 4 C tier characters though. You have 4 C tier characters. And then in the B tier for purple, you guys can either go with Purple 21 for an HP buff. Pretty good, pretty solid character. Not the best, but I mean the fact that she heals herself by 10% is pretty insane. She's kind of a slow character. She kind of ramps up over time. If you don't have her, then I'll go with the old LF Cell because he's more strike based as well. Not a bad character. Does decent damage. Nothing really crazy. Nothing really with debuffs. Only off the green card for one specific enemy. So you can definitely put Purple Cell there. That's pretty much it in terms of the purples, right? Garlic Jr., him, and then Purple 21 for strike base. In terms of the red, you have Zenkai Omega. You have, I'm not the biggest fan of this Super Genema. So Zenkai Omega, you do have red transforming cell. Now, you can mention this Piccolo. I'm not the biggest fan of him because he goes, his damage inflicted buff goes down wherever he faces the enemy. So if the enemies are starting to dwindle, then his damage goes down. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I wish it was the opposite. So that's why I don't really mention Red Piccolo. But if you guys have him, then you guys can definitely use him. I'm just not the biggest fan of how his kit works for TOP wise. I know it's the exact same for PvP, but it is what it is. Now, in terms of the blue, if you guys want to go with another blue, you guys can definitely add in Janemba here if you guys want to. You guys want to add in another blue, maybe you guys want to do double, I don't know, maybe you guys take out Kid Buu and put him in there, and then maybe you guys take out, ooh, what color? You guys definitely need a yellow, and maybe you don't really care too much about red transforming cell, but then you guys want to rock this cell, you guys can definitely do that as well. Something like that. Just always want to make sure you have a high, just a full color wheel in terms of the teams and stuff. So strike based regen, you could probably rock a team. If you guys want to give this a go, you guys can. But it really goes down to like the ultra characters and you having the LFs and stuff. It's definitely going to play a big part. So yeah, let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team, we have androids here. Let's talk about the backup characters. I would just say like the best Z tier characters that I like is second form Cell. And if not, then you have this EX15. Now, if you're not the biggest fan of any of these Z tier characters, then there's some really good options for the S tier. So, excuse me. So you have multiple options. So if you guys don't care about them, then what you guys can do here, you guys can have red transforming Cell. As another S tier character, Red Fusion 13 is pretty good, especially if you start bringing him in with Super 17. The fact that he's going to Zenkai a Red Android, he'll get the extra Zenkai buff. If you were both rock them on your main 6, that'd be really nice there. You also have Blue 13s, not a bad option. It's just that they're strike based. All these characters here are strike based. Free to play 18 is not bad as well. She's more on the blast cater side. You have Cell Jr. If you don't have Cell Jr. high stars, you also have a character like EX17, and then Green 18. I'm not the biggest fan of them too because of their Z ability wise, but their kit is not bad. They're viable. It's just that their Z ability sucks. I kind of put them more on the lesser end because of the Z ability issue. But you have multiple characters that you guys can use from the S tier spots. So anyway, let's hop to the main 6. Main 6, I have Super 17 here. I mean, not LF, MVP 17 as the main blue. I think the little support buffs that he gives with nullifying, like just give you that immunity with the debuffs it's a big deal. Like it helps a ton, especially with TOP where people are debuffing your key recovery and you taking more damage and stuff. That kind of helps a ton with your allies. So I really do like that a lot. The best character that you guys can replace him with, even though they don't really do the same role, would be this 18. She's okay. The fact that she charges her gauge by 40% each battle is not bad. So you can say every 2 matches she gets it, in a sense. Depends on if she's able to get her gauge by 10% organically throughout the fight. But other than that, I really feel like there isn't really no good replacements. But if you want one, I'll throw her in there. Now in terms of the other colors, I decided to go with the C tier. I went with Super 17. I really do like the fact that he has the counter blast card, you know, with his green card thing. He absorbs the blast card. And then the debuffs here. The debuffs is pretty insane. Every time he lands the blast card, he gets higher key recovery and blast damage, and then also debuffs there. So that's pretty insane that he lands 1 blast card and basically half the enemy is debuff. It's pretty nuts. So that's why I kind of favored them. You guys can add in another C tier option like LF Cell. I think I like LF Cell because of the debuffs that he does here. So like him and Super 17 debuffing enemies is pretty nuts. It's pretty nice little duo there. If you guys want to add in another C tier character besides the GT17. I just added the GT17 just to give you guys some flexibility there, because some of you guys might want to add in Gamma 1 and 2, for example. Maybe take out 18 to put them in. So I just wanted to give you guys the option there. In terms of the other purples though, pretty much purple 17 blast base. The other characters, the other purples are really strike base, and I really feel like it's either GT17 or LF Cell, the newer Cell, not the old one. Now when it comes to the yellow, I always like adding in this first form Cell because he Zenkai buffs yellow androids. He's an HP buffer. He gives damage inflicted buffs to his allies and he heals them. He just has too much. He has too much value on the team. Now he has a really slow key recovery, but everything else he makes up for just his value for the team. So I always keep him there. In terms of the other yellow, I always go with yellow 18 just because he gives support damage and then he heals the allies as well. I really like that. Now you don't really need her. You guys can go with like Zenkai Cell, for example. He's not a blast based character, but just what he does is pretty nuts. He'll get double Zenkai buff from his Zenkai and then the first form EXL. And if not him, then I'll go with the free to play perfect form Cell, or this yellow EX18 if you have her at high stars. Now when it comes to the green, I really like Magenta. Now I know Magenta does a little bit more strike damage than blast, but I do like the fact that at the start of the third turn, if there's 3 enemies or less, he basically guarantees himself a blue card. That's pretty powerful. Higher damage inflicted and high key recovery. Like I really like that a lot. Like it just kind of hurry up and wraps the match up by getting an extra guaranteed blue card from Magenta. So that's really powerful. And then he gives debuffs to all enemies here at the start of each turn. That's pretty nuts. 20 damage this receive and then key recovery debuffs. I really liked him as my green, even though he does a little bit more strike side. The other green options is green 21 and gamma 1. And then you could put in this new 16 here, but I put him last. Other than that here, that's pretty much the yellows, the blues, the purples, the reds. Red, you have Transforming Cell, you have Cell Junior, you have the free-to-play 18. Super 13 isn't bad as well. Then you also have the tag droids. Me personally, I like Super 17 a little bit more than tag droids. And then for the B tier spot, you do have free-to-play Red 21 as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. The blue is kind of the toughest one because what 17 does, you do have the blue TOP 18. And then after that, they're really kind of like strike-based blues, like this free-to-play 13. And then you have Aider as another blue that's strike-based. And then your other one is Gamma 2. But they're strike-based. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the blast-based androids. Let's hop to the next team. Alright, so for the next team, we have blast-based LOE. Now for LOE, they definitely kind of nerfed them a little bit in terms of the S tier spot. But since LOE, they usually don't, like their main 6 are not in C tier, I feel like you will be still good with having just 2 S tier characters. I think last season I only had 2 S tier characters because I had EX Piccolo and PJ, and I still was able to get 101 mil. So the fact that that LOE does not have no C tier characters at all is really good. So that means they can pretty much get more points. So let's talk about LOE. It's a niche team, so that's why like the replacements is really difficult because it's a niche team, especially a blast-based LOE. It's really difficult to find replacements for certain colors. But anyways, you know, we're gonna start off with the backups. Green EX. This Frieza is pretty good here. I mean, depending on how many allies, he gets extra 70 damage, so hopefully he doesn't get his buffs removed. That's 100 damage inflicted for an S tier EX character. That's pretty nuts. After that, in terms of the other S tier character, I do like the free-to-play Cooler. I mean, he gives support buffs, he heals every time he lands a blast card. Pretty insane. And then he ramps up, I believe he gets, yeah, he support for his allies, great blast damage, and he heals per blast card. So I feel like they're just the best S tier characters out of the 6 here. Maybe the Zenkai first form Frieza, but I just feel like those other 2 are just way better. Couldn't really find anyone in the Z tier spot that kind of took my eye. Maybe the second form Frieza, but more on the strike side, right? So I just left it how it is. Now for the main 6 here, you really want Zenkai Shield. Zenkai Shield, I mean, he gives HP, he gives debuffs. If he lands a blue card, he stuns the enemy. The support that he gives for the team, kind of like is like the Zenkai Cell, first form Cell for androids. He does it all. He just doesn't heal, but everything else is nuts. He Zenkai buffs purple Frieza. He does a lot, so you really want to have him in there. Chill, for sure. Excuse me. After that, the main character you want is Angel Golden Frieza. I think he's actually on one of the banners, I believe. So if you guys do pull him, he's the best character for offensively. He gets a guaranteed blue card the first turn, fourth turn. If they have, I think, 2 or more battle members remaining, he gets another guaranteed blue card. Pretty absurd. Then after that, you have first form Frieza. First form Frieza, I mean, the fact that he gets double Zenkai buffs, he gives support for the team. He has a immobilization thing for an enemy. It's pretty powerful there. Really do like that a lot. And he also has high key recovery as well. So if you don't have him, I would say the best replacement is UGF or Go Frieza, but they don't really do the same. They're strike based and they don't just do that support and the high key recovery that Frieza does. But if you just want a replacement, then I would say them. In terms of the blue, there really isn't much blues to really replace the Revival Frieza, because he actually heals the team and gives support damage, which is really powerful. But if you do want to get some other good blues here, decent blue options, free to play Metal Cooler. You have this EX Cooler, but I just don't know how many stars you guys have them. Then after that, I mean, you do have Go Frieza, but they're like blue and purple, so it's like half blue, right? In terms of the green, I do have Zenkai Cooler. I mean, really powerful option, really good. If not him, then I do recommend this Final Form Frieza. He's strike based now, but I mean, he does give healing and damage inflicted buffs for his allies, so that's really nice as well. And then after that, then I'll go with the TOP UGF with the Halo. He's pretty solid as well. In terms of the yellow option or the red option, I mean, DBS Frieza is pretty much the best red for blast base. If not him, then Zenkai Cooler, Metal Cooler. And if not him, then LF Cooler. Now LF Cooler is strike base, so that's why I put him last. And then in terms of the yellow AGF, I mean, there really isn't no replacements, but if you had to add one, it's pretty much either this Zenkai full power Frieza here or the LF full power Frieza. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the LOE team. Let's hop to the next team. Alright, so for the next team is a new team that I want to implement. This is a team that I feel like it can work, man. It can work, man. Let me try to cook this up, man. So we have a strike-based God Key team. Now, when I seen let's just talk about, where did I even begin? Let's talk about the main 6 and then let's talk about the backup. So with this setup here, you have 4 C tier units, right? So 4 out of the 3, you know, compared to 3, it is what it is, right? The reason why I got interested was because of Kaioken and CMZ. Now Kaioken Goku, if you guys don't know, if he transforms at the start of the second turn, he gets a guaranteed blue card. So like similar to like AGF or Boo Tanks or LF Piccolo, he gets a guaranteed blue card. So right, you know, that's really powerful. That's really powerful. And then a character like CMZ that ramps up every time he lands a card. He heals. He gets a blue card pretty much every every other match. It's pretty powerful, right? And then for Blue Vegeta. Now, I don't have every God Key character. But if you guys do have Ultra Rose, and if you guys do have LF Godku, both are characters that has a guaranteed blue card if you look at their kits. So if you guys do have Godku or LF or Ultra Rose, not LF Rose, Ultra Rose or LF Godku, guaranteed blue card. That's pretty powerful, right? But you know, I would use Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta as a third option. The reason why I use them is, I mean, he's not a bad kit here. The biggest thing here is at the start of the third turn, he charges up his gauge, he gets higher damage inflicted, and he heals himself by 10%. Pretty nuts, right? So that's why I added him, because I don't have Godku or Ultra Rose. Now I know Ultra Rose, Zebu doesn't give buffs to God Key, but he's just that good of a character that I would use. Guaranteed blue card, him and Godku. Now when it comes to the support, the reason why I have Shin here, Shin at the end of the second turn, he heals his ally by 2 and then damage inflicted buff. So it's not like something where he's healing every turn, but just wants some type of way of healing. He gives debuffs and stuff. He has a really great kit. Can't really go wrong with it when he cover changes, and I don't really care too much about cover changing, but when he lands a blast card or strike, he debuffing the enemy. Decent kit here, and then he heals his allies and damage inflicted buffs for your main damage dealers. Now when it comes to Whis, I really think Whis is, you're gonna need Whis. You're gonna need Whis and Shin in my opinion, because of what they do, giving more damage inflicted to their allies. Special move gauge, right? Special move gauge is really powerful. That's really nice. And then key recovery, so that means they're being able to try to attack first compared to the enemy. Then at the end of the start of the third turn, he gives more damage inflicted buffs, key recovery, and then he heals his allies by 2. So he's able to support everyone down here. And then you have Shin that's supporting the top 3 up here. And then the last character, I added in Beerus for more support. And I think Beerus is a character that is kind of like, you don't really need him. I kind of just put him there just for more support. You know, he damage inflicted buffs here, debuffing the enemy. And then at the end of the start of the third turn, he heals allies only by 1, but you know, it's a way of healing, and he gives debuffs to the enemies in range and stuff. Not bad at all. So if you don't really have this free-to-play Beerus, I would say the best one is just the Hakai Beerus here. He's strike based. He gives debuffs to the enemy's health restoration, and then kind of just a character that does pretty much just strike damage and stuff. This third option is kind of just whoever. I didn't want to add too much characters, too much C tier characters, so I decided to go with these these 4 C tiers, it's pretty difficult to really replace these characters. But if for CMZ purpose, I pretty much will say MUI. This Kaioken Goku is pretty difficult here just because he gets the guaranteed blue card. But I would say Fusion Gogeta, the Synchro Gauge Gogeta, is pretty much his best yellow option that I like. When it comes to the greens, I already gave you guys the green options. The purple I really do like the Whis a lot. But if you don't have him, then I'll say the free-to-play Whis. Now, he doesn't really support his allies. He's just supporting more of a debuff for the enemies. So he's supporting his allies by debuffing the enemies. So if you kind of want that option, then you can take that Whis out and put in this Whis, and then just put him in the middle, right? No, he doesn't need to be in the middle. No, he could be wherever. He could be wherever, and then maybe do like blue Beerus. You guys can do something like that. But it's pretty difficult to find options for each color. I'm not going to lie at all. Now, when it comes to the boost characters here, I feel like if you're going to rock 4 C tier characters, you definitely need a Z tier character. So I added in the EX Whis. He gives some type of damage inflicted buffs. You guys see there for his allies, like 20 damage inflicted plus 40 key recovery. The start of each turn, 40 plus key recovery is pretty nuts. Now, he doesn't have great stats, right? And you know, he wants to be paired up with a Beerus. So that's why I added in a Beerus in the team, because if you want to rock him, he gets the extra little buffs there with damage inflicted buffs and critical rate. So that's why I added a Beerus on the team. Now, when it comes to the S tier spots, you have Zenkai Yellow Beerus. Pretty much really good. He's blast based though, but I feel like he's just the best character out of the what's name characters, the S tier characters. And then you also have Blue Champa, and then the other ones I'm not really the biggest fan of for sure. So really limited team, but if you do have the characters, I mean, you can give this a go. I'm curious to see how this team runs, especially if you have Guy Goku and Ultra Rose and CMZ and Kaioken Goku. You have 3 characters that have a guaranteed blue card. You got a decent amount of healing on the team. I feel like this team could be pretty solid, but you know, I'm just forming teams. Let's hop to the next team. All right, so for the next team here, a different team, PO Strike Base. Yeah, let's get straight to it. So yeah, PO Strike Base. I feel like this is a solid team, not bad. Let's break it down. So it's gonna be really niche because I know a lot of you guys don't have Garlic Jr. I feel like there's maybe a different route that you guys can do, but let's focus on this one. The backup characters, I decided to go with just the 13 and Red Cell. I feel like they're just the best S tier characters. Now the movie's 13 doesn't buff PO. He doesn't buff PO, unfortunately. But if you do want to go with a Z tier character, then I'll probably say your best bet would probably be Super Baby 2 here. He gives buffs for PO, and then he gets extra damage inflicted buffs per GT or PO member. He's on the PO team, so he's going to get that full ability there, damage inflicted buffs and stuff there. Now, in terms of the main 6, Garlic Jr., the reason why I like Garlic Jr. is, I mean, he gives kind of like immunity for the team for like 2 turns or 2 times per ally. Damage inflicted buffs, he heals, he transforms. He does a lot. Now you don't. I mean, there's a different version here, but just bear with me for a moment. Then after that, CMZ, like you guys already know how good, you know how much I'll be talking about CMZ. I don't really need to explain that. Yellow Broly. The reason why I added Yellow Broly just because I mean he's an HP buffer. He Zenkai buffs Yellow PO. So depending on what other Yellow PO you add in there, they're going to be able to influence that as well. And after that, at each turn, he restores his health by 1%. It's not really bad. It's not bad at all. Like, you can't really complain. He has ways of healing, so that's really powerful. And then Blue Goku Black. The reason why I like him a lot is he gives support buffs for his allies, right? You guys see there, damage inflicted buffs, key recovery, debuffs to enemies. Then at the end of the second turn, he does more damage inflicted buffs for his allies and more, you know, cancellation on his PO allies at range and more debuffs. So just a character that just kind of just makes your other high damage dealing characters just do more damage. Now in terms of the yellow, I have Tapion here just because Tapion, like the person that's behind him, he heals and gives damage inflicted buffs. So, you know, you can't really go wrong with that. I wish he had a higher range of healing and stuff, but Not a bad character. He debuffs the enemies here too. Like you guys see all enemies with 20 damage receive and key recovery and stuff. So that's really powerful in my opinion. And he's getting his Zenkai buff by the yellow Broly. So I really like that a lot. And then the last character is Green Frieza. Green Frieza, he's a free to play character. At the end of each turn, he heals his allies by 1%. And Dan's afflicted buff, it activates once and then activates twice. But you know, some type of healing in Dan's afflicted buffs for his allies. It's pretty good here. And then, you know, debuffing the current enemy that he's facing as well. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, in terms of the replacements here, what you guys can do here for the yellow, since you have really 2 C tier characters, you guys could do this and just take Tapion out and then add in like another powerful PO yellow, for example, right? You can add in Super Baby 2 there. If you guys do have Ultra Kid Buu, you guys can do that as well. Going more for a strike based team, so if I'm showing a replace for a strike based team or a strike based character, I understand why. You guys can go with another blue like Janemba, for example. If you guys want to go with another purple, you got UGF there. Now if you guys don't have Garlic Jr., say for example I'm keeping in, say I do like Ultra Kid Buu, right? I do Ultra Kid Buu. Then for the PO strike based purple, then I'll probably go with like Purple Cell, for example, because I think he gives Z abilities for PO. So that's the biggest thing with PO, is that they have a lot of PO characters, but they don't really buff PO in terms of the Z ability. So I kind of have to do this here. So like Purple Cell, Garlic Jr., UGF, it's pretty much your best purple options. For yellow PO, you have yellow Broly, you have Ultra Kid Buu, you have yellow Tapion, you have yellow Super Baby 2. For the blues, you have Ultra Janemba. I really want you guys to keep this guy if you guys, you know, because just the damn afflicted buffs that he gives for his team is pretty nuts. I really like that a lot. For sure, I really do like that a lot. And then the free to play first form cell, I mean not first form cell, first form Frieza. In terms of the greens, I'm not really the biggest fan of any of the green ones. Like, you have decent options like this Ikari Broly here. You have the Zenkai Jiren, that's not bad. But I just really like the damage afflicted buffs and healing that he gives for his allies. I really do like that a lot, and he's a free to play character. Magenta's also not a bad option as well. Guaranteed blue card when 3 enemies are left. I do like that a lot as well. In terms of the red, besides CMZ here, let's see, you have 8 Vegeta. That's not a bad option for a PO strike based character. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And in Red Cell, I mean, they're really the only, you know, strike based reds that I like. You know, you also do have Ultra Hit as well. Any of the other reds here, Cooler is also not a bad option as well, but CMZ just clears all of them in my opinion, just because he heals, guaranteed blue card every 2 turns, every 2 fights in a sense, and then he ramps up over time. So it's a really niche team. If you just have the characters, you guys can definitely give this a go. I don't know how I feel, if it's gonna work or not, but I'm just throwing out teams, so wanted to throw this team out as well. I think this is the last new team I have, so let's hop into the next teams. Alright, so the next team we have is strike based Vegeta Clan. So I kind of made this team last season, and a few of you guys actually tried it out and said it actually did pretty well. If you guys have Ultra Majin Vegeta, I definitely think like he's a game changer. Just because like the way I believe his gauge works is like he can counter blast cards. That's pretty insane. I don't really know his kit, his TOP kit, because I don't have him. But if you guys do have UNV, I mean he's a big game changer for this strike based UNV team. Strike based Vegeta Clan team. But for the main reason why I added this team is because of just the healing that you guys have for the team. So I mean, Purple Bola you definitely need. She supports everyone that's around her and she heals the team. You can't find that value. It's hard to find that value on teams. So you gotta have her. You gotta have her. If you don't have her, there's really no replacements. I'm not gonna find replacements for Purple Bola, because you're really just not gonna have replacements for her. Next, you also have this free to play Vegeta here. Hopefully you guys grinded him out and got him to 14 stars, because he gives healing as well. And a lot of people said, the 2 people that rocked him said that he actually tanked really well throughout the whole season and didn't really have an issue with his health. So the fact that he's able to give support buffs and he was able to survive last season with all those strong teams, that's pretty impressive for a free-to-play unit for sure. So 2 support and healing units there. And now in terms of the third one, you guys could go with Angel Vegeta as your third one. Another character that gives damage inflicted buffs and healing for the team. If you guys want to add him, you guys can. That's what I did for the last season. So if you want to add him in there, you guys can. You guys can take out this red Trunks in my if you guys want to. Now for your damage dealing characters, I added Green Vegeta. I feel like, you know, he has a really solid kit here. Then at the start of the third turn, he gets higher damage, higher ult and blue card damage. I think he charges up his blue card gauge, and then he heals himself by 10%, which is pretty nuts. So I feel like that's just great survivability there. And then in terms of the yellow option, like I said, UMV, I definitely recommend UMV as your main yellow. If not that as your offensive character, then Fusion Gogeta. He's part Vegeta Clan, but I know when he transforms he's not Vegeta Clan, but it is what it is, right? And then for your blue, I have Sword of Hope Trunks. If you guys have Fusion Vegito, I recommend Fusion Vegito over Sword of Hope Trunks, but I know a lot of you guys have Sword of Hope Trunks compared to Fusion Vegito, so I added him. In terms of your backups, I have Purple Green Shredder Trunks as your S tier. I feel like his kit is really good, so the fact that he's in S tier is really valuable. And then for the other S tier, I added in the Coat Vegeta, because I feel like he gives support buffs for his allies and key recovery, which is nice. And I feel like his kit is not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But if you guys want to go with a Z tier unit for Vegeta Clan, then I would probably say this EX Super Trunks. That's probably like the best one that I like from this option here. But if you want to go to the S tier and maybe get like another character, another solid one I like is this Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He gives support for his allies and stuff. You guys see there, allies at range. He gives all this extra charge rates and good stuff there. He's more on the blast side, but I mean, he's not a bad option. I mean, the fact that he gets double offense for strike base Vegeta Clan is also really powerful as well. So I mean, Trunks does the same thing, and then this Vegeta has an HP buff. So all of them has really good Z abilities for the team. If not him, then you guys can go with Super Trunks. Now he only buffs hybrids, I believe, but I feel like he's like the last option there. Yeah, other than that, let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team we have Blast Base Majin Buu Saga. So yeah, let's start with the backup. So for the Z tier, I have the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I feel like the fact that he has damage inflicted buff for 3 turns is good. Not, you know, it's nothing crazy, but I feel like it's the best out of the Z tier characters. And then for the S tier character, Evil Boo is just he's just the best option, bro. You really just want to rock those two. I can't really think of any other character that I would pick besides Evil Boo if you guys don't have him. Zenkai, not gonna lie. Like I really have no clue. So I would say hopefully you guys have these characters. Maybe this Boo, the Red Boo or Buhan here. The other ones are meh, in my opinion. Even the Z tiers here, none of them catches my eye for real. So yeah, anyway, let's hop to the main 6. In terms of the C tiers, I have 2 C tiers, right? You can kind of build the team how you have, depending on your units and who you have, Zenkai and stuff. But I have Gotenks and I have Ulton, so for a blast based team I decided to rock them. Best replacements for Gotenks in my opinion is Shin. I think Shin does, if you were looking for maybe a support for the team, extra support, and you guys can rock Shin instead of Gotenks. Other than Gotenks, you have the Boo. Where you at? You do have Buhan here as a blast based character, and then you also have this free to play Vegeta. This free to play Vegeta is also support as well. He favors strike now, but I mean, he's not a bad character, so I feel like those are like the best red options. Then I'll say last will probably be the Super Saiyan Goku. He just someone that just does a lot of damage. He's just a character that does a ton of damage beginning of the match, so that's not bad. Those are really like your best red options, more for the cater to the blast side of the team. Now when it comes to the blue, you know, TN gives great support, I believe here. Yep, like health damage afflicted buffs and health restoration, so that's pretty nice there, especially with the healing that you guys have the team. And then he heals himself, and then high key recovery for himself. But I know TN is a pretty rare character, so if you guys don't have him, I like Boot Tanks. Boot Tanks, you know, he doesn't buff Majin Buu Saga, but he gets the guaranteed blue card. And then if not, you guys can always go to the C tier, pick up Zenkai, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. If you have him at Zenkai 7, I don't have him, I just need one more copy. And then you have Kid Buu. Kid Buu's not bad, he heals a lot, so he has great survivability, but I'll just put him last because he doesn't buff. He doesn't buff Majin Buu Saga, and then he also, I'm missing something. And he also doesn't have like a guaranteed blue card or nothing. Like this character here has like the Transcendent. They still use that little preparation mode, so that's really powerful as well. Now in terms of the green, I like Pui Pui just because he's an HP buffer for the team and he gives support for the team. So I really do like that a lot, and he's a free to play character, so you guys should be able to have him. Giving the extra health to the team is really powerful, and then support buffs, I like that a lot. In terms of the yellow, I do have Majin Buu Good. You don't really need Majin Buu Good. You guys can just pick up, you guys can just stick with one yellow in terms of the free to play 18. But I decided to add them because damage afflicted buff and key recovery is really powerful in my eyes. So I really do like that. But he's kind of like a flex character. You guys can kind of add whoever. If you guys want to do double red with Shin, you guys can. If you guys want to add in this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because he gives great support, you guys can. And then maybe take out and put in like this. You guys can do that, like with this. If you have a Zenkai, Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, you guys can do that. So that Buu character is more of a flex option. If you guys want to go with double greens with Evil Buu, you guys can do that. If you guys want a character that does maybe gives a little bit more healing to the team, or maybe you want to rock this Vegeta here. The only issue I have with the Vegeta is like the way that he heals for his range here, you know, because the way that 18 heals, she has it like that, so it kind of like interferes with each other. But who that had there, that good fat Buu spot is kind of a flex spot. You can kind of put whoever you want depending on just how your team is and everything. You guys can even go with strike based characters like Fusion Vegito, but I kind of want to focus more off a blast based team, keep that synergy going. But yeah, it just depends on your team setup and who you have. You can kind of build whatever in terms of the main 6 for that flex spot. So anyways, let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team we have Unirep's Blast Base here. Let's talk about the backup. They really hold the backup like the S tier for this whole team. Like they put all the good S tier EX characters in A. Like the Topo, the Dispo, the Kale, the Vados, but they put all of them in A tier, which is pretty nuts. But in terms of S tiers and the Z tiers, I think the best characters is just free to play Kefla, EX Bergamo, and then EX Champa. Then after that, in terms of the Z tier spot, for the blast, I go with like EX Rosie or even EX Kakuzu. Those pretty much gonna be the main characters for the backup for both teams. Kind of just doesn't matter, bro. If you do whoever you have the highest stars, just use. Now when it comes with the main 6 here, you definitely want to have EX Kale. EX Kale gives support buffs and healing for the team. She's kind of like that Super Baby 2, that Wheeze, that Bola Vegeta, right? She's a super valuable, so you definitely need to have her because you gotta have the healing and the support for this team, and she provides that, so you definitely need her. Now when it comes to other colors, I always like having Red Bergamo. I know that he's strike based, but I think he actually has equal stats. Over time he ramps up. I believe he gets to do a counter for one of the turns, the first time he gets hit. And then at the end of the third turn, I believe he actually heals himself up, which is really nice. And then he provides an HP buffer for the team. So I really value him as the main red, just for both strike and blast. When it comes to the main blue, I decided to go with Super 17. Super 17, like I said, he gives immunity for the team, and then he's just a blast-based character, which is really strong. Other blues, it's not bad. is this Beerus. This Beerus kind of gives some type of support, kind of like 17 in a sense. Well, this Beerus gives damage afflicted buffs and he gives some type of healing, so it's kind of a different way of supporting. But 17 himself as an individual character also does really high blast damage and damage afflicted buffs. So you have him, and you also have, I believe, blue 18 that you guys can rock. Those are like the pretty much the other blue options. In terms of the yellow, it's pretty difficult. You can't find a replacement for Golden Frieza, not for the blast based team. The person that's identical to him is Kaioken Goku. If you want to add in Kaioken Goku, you have more of a better blast based team, and you're missing Golden Frieza, then you guys do Zenkai Kaioken Goku because he gets a guaranteed blue card. Other than that, you do have like Evo and Ultra Kaioken, but the fact that those two does the guaranteed blue card, they're the most similar to each other. When it comes to the purple, it's either LF Jiren or LF UI sign. They're pretty much the main two good blast purple characters. So depending on your stars, I like Jiren just because he gets the stun and stuff. I like his kit a little bit better. And then in terms of the green, you have Zenkai Topo here. You don't really need him. You guys can rock other options if you guys want to do Evoken, right? You guys have 3 C tier characters. If you guys want to use them as your main, as your 3rd C tier, you guys can. Or you guys can go with UGF. I do like UGF a lot, and you guys could go with event exclusive TN. He does give the solar flare. I believe every time he lands a blast card, he heals. And yeah, and then for the red here, besides Bergamo, then I would say just pretty much UI Goku, because MUI, just the fact that he's able to evade and land damage, and then his stat spread of his blast and strike is pretty much really close. You can put UI in there as MUI in there as well. So anyways, let's hop into the strike base side of the team. Alright, so strike base side of uni reps here. If you guys, in terms of the backup, like I said, it's really the similar one as like the blast base uni reps team. You have EX Bergamo, you have EX Champa, you have the free-to-play Kale. Qualifa is okay, but it depends on like rival universe and stuff. So you can add her into the mix. And then for the Z tier spot, since you're kind of going, so you're kind of going more of the strike side, and I'll probably go with Kakunsa over Rosie, but that's pretty much the main ones here. So in terms of the main 6, like I said, you definitely want to have EX Kale because the healing and the support buff that she gives is just powerful for the team. She's kind of like the best one that does that. You have some other ones that does, that maybe heal themselves, but in terms of a team value wise, no, like she's the best one. In terms of the blue here, like I said, you guys do have blue 18, or even since it's strike base, you do have blue Beerus. Not a bad option. The only issue is he does saga, he doesn't do uni reps. So I mean, some of those characters might not get, I think all the characters might get that Z ability buff. And then also you guys have blue Beerus here as well, the free to play one. He gives he's more support than offensive. Those are kind of like your best blues in my opinion, right? And then EX Jiren is probably last. He's not a bad character. Extra damage to God Key, I believe he heals himself by 5%, right? Yeah, pretty good there. Pretty solid kit there as well, especially for an EX character. When it comes to the green, there's really too much. There's 3 green C tier. Green strike base uni reps. The best one is Kiawe. Kiawe heals her allies by 1%, I believe. Gives allies damage afflicted buffs for strike damage, and she has an overall good kit. So definitely would put her there. After that, you do have the green Kefla. She heals herself by 10%, which is a lot, but she doesn't really buff the team. Unfortunately, that's really much her main downfall. And then after that, you do have is this green Jiren here. If you guys just have an extra C tier, but we already have 3 C tiers, so I'm kind of pushing it with the green Jiren, right? So, excuse me. In terms of the yellow Kaioken Goku, like he's just a guaranteed blue card he gives. It's pretty powerful. Pretty much the best replacement is Angel Golden Frieza. So if you don't have him at Zenkai 7, but you have Angel Golden Frieza, then you guys can definitely rock him for sure. In terms of the red, I have Bergamo, HP buffer. He ramps up over time, he counters, and he heals himself at the end of the 3rd turn. Best reds are MUI Goku Ultra Hit, and then you also have Red Casserole, right? Another character that's just not in the C tier spot, so you don't gotta waste that. And I believe he heals himself by the start of the 2nd turn. gives damage inflicted buffs for his Unireps squad people. Not a bad character, but I just like Bergamo. HP ramps up over time. He counters first time he gets hit, and then he heals. HP buffer as well. So I really like that a lot. And then for the last character, you don't really have like the really dominant purple, just straight purple strike based character. So I always go with Go Frieza because they start off with Goku. You start off with a purple, so that's why I always add Go Frieza in there. Yeah, so strike. I mean, Unireps is just better. It's a better blast based team than strike based, but you have more of a niche option. So I kind of wanted to give you guys an option on the strike based side. Let's hop into the next team. All right, so for the next team here, we have is blast based GT. And in terms of the backup character, depending on how much C tier characters you put, will kind of change who you put for your backup. So if you have like 4 C tier characters, then you definitely want to have a Z tier character. But if you have like maybe like 2 C tier characters, then having like S tier characters is not bad. So I want to give you guys just the best Z's and S. So for the Z tier spot, Super Baby 2, I know he's strike based. Super Baby 2, and then Blue EX Shin, and then that EX GT Trunks. If you guys did pull him, really valuable character. But if you guys don't, majority of us don't have him. So Super Baby 2 and then EX Shin. One does a lot of damage, the other one is a solid support character. And then in terms of S tier, Omega Shenron and then EX Oob are pretty much the best S tiers. And then after that, for third, I'll probably put Ice as the best S tier for third. Now when it comes to the main 6 here, me personally, I always rock Bull of Vegeta and Super Baby 2 as my main C tiers, just because the damage inflicted buffs and the healing that they both provide together for sustainability for the team is really valuable. Now, some of you guys might not want to add in Bull of Vegeta, so you guys can add in another C tier character for the team. Maybe you guys want to do Omega and Super 17, right? You guys can definitely do that. It's just that I'd rather have the extra little healing that they both provide together for the team and support for the team. But if you guys want to take her out, then you guys could do maybe something like Super Omega Shenron, the green one, and Super 17, because just the debuffs that they both provide together is pretty nuts. Every time Super 17 lands a debuffs, he's covering 2/3 of the box for debuffs every time he lands a blast card. And then Shenron here, you guys see here, he's covering 7 out of the 9 box every time he lands a blast or strike. Like, that's pretty nuts that they both are landing that much debuffs on the field just by landing a blast card, in a sense. Pretty dumb, right? Pretty insane, right? Next after that though, in terms of the other like just blast based characters, you don't really got that much options, especially for the purple side. You pretty much just have GT17. If you guys want to add in like UG4 in there, you guys definitely can, because he's just that good of a character. I don't have him, so I can't show you guys him, but I mean, either that is Purple 17. Purple 17. That's pretty much it there. And then the green characters, you have his Baby Trunks and then Super Saiyan 4 Goku, depending on your stars. And if you have them Zenkai, to each their own, pick which one, just the higher stats and stuff like that. Then after that, in terms of the red, I have Super 17 there. You guys could go with the Super Saiyan Goku here. He's not a bad red option as well for a blast based red. Oops, did I mean to do that there? Sorry about that. I don't think this guy deserves to be a C tier spot for what he provides for the team. I wouldn't waste my C tier spot for free to play Shin. Eventually, in a couple weeks, he's going to be put up to like B and A, whatever. Now, in terms of the yellow, I decided to go with Rage. I think Rage is just the best character in terms of the yellow blast base for the team. Every time he gets hit with a strike or blast, he gets extra little like buffs for himself and effects for the enemies, which is really nice. He gives support for the team as well, which is really good. So I just think he's just the best yellow. If you don't have him though, I have the Zenkai Super Saiyan Vegeta blast base, and then if not him, then I'll go with Zenkai Shin here. The only thing I don't like about him is that he needs to be below 60% for him to get all his buffs, which you don't really want to take damage for this mode. You want to have great survivability. So that's pretty much it with the blast based team. Don't really have that many characters to choose from for real. Let's hop into the strike based side. Alright, so for the strike base GT team, or for the next team, it's going to be strike base GT. The main two, Super Baby 2 and Bola Vegeta, pretty much for like what I said, I really do like them together just because of the healing and the support that they both give together. Great survivability for the team. If you guys don't want Bola Vegeta on the team, or you might want to add in UG4, you guys can. But Super Baby 2 does not leave your team. He's just too valuable. He's way more valuable because constant healing at the end of each turn is really good. Really, really good. So if you want to take Bola Vegeta out, you guys can put UG4 in. Excuse me. Then after that, in terms of the other colors here, let's see. Now, depending on if you want to add more C tier characters, depends on your backup characters. So if you have a C tier character, like for example, the green Trunks, that new green Trunks, Super Baby 2, or Shin, right? If you want you to have like a weaker backup character and you want to add in better like main characters, you guys could take her out, go to the C tier spot, add in a character like, say you take them out, right? Take them out and you put like UG4. I don't have UG4, so pretend this is UG4, and then you want to add in like another strong yellow character. You can add in Super Baby 2 or Forku. Me personally, I think I like Super Baby 2 a little bit more for what he does, right, for the team. You guys can definitely do that. Add in like 4 C tier characters, right? It'll be 4 C tier characters, and then make sure you have a Z tier character as your backup character. And then in terms of the other characters, you know what I'm saying, you can probably take out Omega and maybe just add in an A tier character, get an extra little more points with the red Kid Goku instead of Super Omega. If you guys want to add Omega, you guys can, right? And then for the purple, you guys can just keep Super Saiyan 4 Goku just because he was Zenkai buff UG4, so that'll be really nice together. Or if not that, yeah, I'll keep him. Hold on, let me think of something. Yeah, hold on. You can either keep Super Saiyan 4 Goku. If you have a lot of like GT, like Sun Fam characters, then this blue pan is not bad. She has high key recovery and gives support buff for like Sun Fam and hybrids, I believe. And then just free to play 17, right? But it kind of just depends on how you build, how many C tiers you have, right? How many C tiers, and depending on your backup characters, you can kind of alternate the teams with certain things. Me personally, I just don't think he deserved to be a C tier character. I feel like he's like a B tier character, so I don't really like putting him, wasting my C tier points on him as a unit. So I'd rather go with an LF or like an Ultra, for example. So yeah, that's pretty much it here. I'm just super tired. If you guys need replacements, just comment down below. But GT doesn't really have the best replacements for each color. There's really like 1 or 2 for each one. So if you main the team, you're pretty much gonna have all the characters. Anyways, let's hop into the next teams. I think I got like 3 more. All right, so for the next team, we have blast base hybrids in a sense. Now I know you guys see blue beast, but there really isn't really no good blue hybrids for real. Like in terms of the blast base one, like really the best one, if you guys want to do a full blast base team, is probably just free to play Gohan. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Like all the other ones are like strike based. So me personally, I'm like, hey, I might as well just use my C tier character on Blue Beast because he's just him. He's just him, man. He's just him. I'm sorry. But yeah, in terms of the other blast based character, now for the green one, if you guys have Ultra Gohan, definitely rock Ultra Gohan over Cryon. Ultra Gohan, the fact that he counters strikes and then he gets a guaranteed blue after that is pretty ridiculous. So if you guys have Ultra Gohan, definitely rock him over Cryon, but Cryon will basically pretty much be the best replacement for the blast base side of the team. Then after that here I have I kind of want to focus more off Gohan's because Pan gives extra buffs for Gohan's and Piccolo based off the Z ability here, and then the special move charge rate as well, which is pretty good. Really good. Excuse me. And then she's the HP buffer for the team, and she gives debuffs for the enemies, which is really valuable. So that's why I have her as my main red. Now, what you guys can do, if you guys don't have her, you guys can definitely do red Gotenks. And then if not red Gotenks, you kind of want to go more of a blast based variant, you guys could definitely rock Nerdhan. Nerdhan is actually really good. It's pretty good. He gives support buffs for 4 rolls out of the 9, which is really nice. I believe that over, I think the 3rd turn, he heals himself by 2%, which is not bad. He ramps up over time. Decent key recovery. He's a really good unit, and then I think he does double offense for the team. So he is going to give blast base Z ability when he's on the field, which is really nice. So you guys can add in red Gohan as well if you guys don't have Gotenks or a high star Pan, the Nerdhan. In terms of the blue, it's pretty much like what, Blue Beast or Sword of Hope Trunks. You might just have to just rock a strike base variant of a blue hybrid character because they're just the best ones, not going to lie to you. Now in terms of the purple, it's pretty much Ultron, right? You have Ultron. If you want to add more healing, Bull of Vegeta, they're kind of more for strikes. They do a little bit more strike side, but if you want more healing and support for the team, you guys can. And I don't really know much about this Rage Trunks. This Rage Trunks actually don't look bad. The only issue is I just don't know if he's worth a C tier spot. I just don't know. I think he's solid. He looks pretty solid here now. He doesn't look bad, but I just don't know if I would give him a C tier spot for him. I think eventually he's going to go up to like B tier or A. So I'd rather just keep him there. Now the reason why I like adding in this Goten here is because Goten is a Goku Sun Fam supporter. Goku Gohan supporter. Damage inflicted buffs by character Gohan and Goku characters. And at the end of the turn, he heals Goku and Gohan characters by 2% in damage inflicted buffs. Really good. So you kind of want to focus on just adding a lot of Gohans instead of Trunks on the Hybrids team here. Then the last character I have is Yellow Goten. He gets a guaranteed blue card after, I think, the second transformation. At the second turn, start of the second turn, he gets a guarantee, and then after that he heals up by 10% and gives support for his allies as well right here, which is 20 damage inflicted, which is really powerful. So if you add in a character like Ultra Gohan, he's getting support buff by this Goten, Yellow Goten, and then Pan, and then he's doing a blue card damage. Oh, that's disgusting. Super disgusting, right? So, but yeah, but the fact is that if you're going to add in 4 C tier characters, you definitely want to have some Z tier characters. So if you guys do have that movie's Blue Adult Gohan, GT, Trunks, this Gohan here and that green Gotenks for Z tiers, those are some really good characters for the Z tier spots. And for the S tier, I'll probably just go with the green Shredder Trunks for real. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. Let's hop into the strike base variant of this team. Alright, so for the next team here, we got strike base. Oh, did not mean to add you in there. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? No, sir. What I want to add in here? Let's just do Red Beast. You really don't even need Red Beast for real, but I just want to add them in there. So yeah, for the strike base side of hybrids, you kind of have Pan, Blue Beast, Red Beast, Bull of Vegeta, and then I added in green Trunks, the tag Trunks and Gohan here, just because they heal themselves to give support for the allies below him. 20 damage inflicted is pretty nuts, and key recovery. That's pretty OD, so that's why I really like that a lot. Some more damage inflicted for your damage dealers. You do have 2, I mean, and then you have Goten here that gives support for the person in the middle. So you're going to be supporting Bull of Vegeta, because Bull of Vegeta, just them in the middle, just gives the best. Like, they buff everyone around them, so the other 8 squares, right? And then you have Pan there. Now what you guys can do here is, the way that you build your team, you can kind of like switch it up. So like, say for example, you don't want to waste a C tier on this red Gohan, and maybe you want to do it off Nerdhan. Maybe you want to save in a C tier character there. And then what you guys can do here is, maybe you guys don't have a high tag green Gohan and Trunks EX. Then you guys can do Zenkai, Super Saiyan, Teen Trunks here. So then you have 4 C tiers that way. You don't have 5 C tiers, right? You have 4 C tiers, and then you're having your 3 Z tier characters there. Along, you just at least want to have, if you're rocking 4 C tiers, definitely want to have 1 Z tier, and maybe take out this Trunks here and give in this green Shredder Trunks, just because his Z ability does double offense. which is really nice, and he has a really good kit. If not, you guys can also do green Super Trunks. I believe he's Zenkai's green hybrids. So if you're rocking him and then this green Trunks, they're both going to Zenkai each other because they both Zenkai green hybrids. So that's a nice little synergy there, right? It all kind of depends on how much C tier characters you have. I like adding in Pan because just the HP she gives for the team and the support for Gohans, especially if you have Gohan as like your main damage dealers, right? Which is why I added in the tag Gohan Trunks here so they can get extra little support buffs as well, right? This green Gohan is not bad as well. He's okay, right? He gives damage afflicted buffs for himself, right? And then he also gives after he gets hit, he gives damage afflicted buffs for his allies, but he needs to get hit. That's the downside about him, right? Blue is out of Sword Hope Trunks and Beast Gohan. Yellow's kind of iffy. It's really yellow Goten and then like fat Gotenks, but it depends off your C tier spot, how you want to operate it, right? How you want to work around with your C tier, so you kind of have to play around with that. Red, you have Red Transforming Beast, you have Pan, and you have Nerdhan, and then you also have Great Salmon 1 and 2 is not a bad option as well for strike base red. Green, you have Drip Trunks. You have the LF Super Saiyan Trunks. You have this green Gohan, and then you have the tag Gohan Trunks from the future. And then purple is either Bull Vegeta, Gohan EX Krillin, and then that pretty much it. The other purples are okay, like Revival Gohan, but I'm not the biggest fan of him. This Trunks was just an S tier. I don't think he deserves to be B tier. I think he should be higher. And that's pretty much it there. So let's hop into the next team. Let's wrap this video. Alright, so for the last team here, we're going to have is strike base movies here. You kind of have different variants here. So the reason why I have this variant here is just, it really depends off your backup character. So for the Z tier spot, I added in this Broly. Now I'm not the biggest fan of characters that doesn't ramp up depending on like if there's less enemies on the field, they do less damage, or if there's less allies on the field, they deal more damage. But the fact that he's in C tier, the fact that he's doing 40 damage and minus 30 damage received is really valuable to me. So the fact is, I'd rather take that as a Z tier character, getting that extra Z tier bonus. And then for the S tier, I decided to add Bowser because he is a cooler D rider. Like if he does not see cooler, he does not give pretty much all this stuff here is regarding to cooler. Insane. It's ridiculous how much of a glaze he is. Like pop him out, bro. But that's why, like if you have cooler, you want to rock Bowser. If not, then don't rock Bowser. I would say switch him out and add in this Frieza. Me personally, I think the Frieza is way better than Bowser. So I think he's just the better EX character to rock. You also have like EX Turles, that's really good as well. You also have the Android 13, that's not a bad option. Yeah, those are like my favorite ones from the S tier spots. Anyways, let's go to the C tier spot. I decided to go with Yellow Gotenks here just because I like the debuffs and the support buff that he gives around for his allies and the debuffs for his enemies. I really like him as like my main centerpiece. Then I have Pan here for HP support buffs. Now we don't have a lot of Gohans here, but I mean she still gives great support buffs regardless of who's so. And then for the left side, like I said, I have Cooler there. If you rock 1000, then add Cooler. If you don't rock Cooler, then you can just add in the red Transforming Beast. If not that, then you guys can rock Nerdhan for a strike base red. If not that, then you guys can go with Great Salmon 1 and 2, right? In terms of the purple is kind of like one of the worst colors for hybrids, right? Let me just add in like Nerdhan here. Let me just add in Cooler. I don't really care. Purple is kind of like the worst color here. Garlic Jr., if you guys have them, definitely use them, but I know a lot of you guys don't have them, so if you guys don't have Garlic Jr., you guys can go with like UGF, for example. Right, you guys can go with UGF, but the problem is you guys have 5 C tier characters, so then you might have to take out Red Beast. add in a character like maybe Nerd Han or Great Salmon 1 and 2, so you guys can alleviate all those C tier characters, right? And then in terms of the green, I really do like Magenta, because Magenta, depending on how many allies, if there's 3 enemies, he gets a guaranteed blue card, and then the debuffs that he gets for all the enemies on the battlefield is pretty ridiculous as well. Other green characters that's not bad, you have Drip Trunks. The only reason why I would add in Drip Trunks is if you add in a character like Tapion, because Tapion gives support buffs for Trunks, then you can do something like that little synergy there. But Dell is also, I think she gives extra buffs for Gohan, if I'm not mistaken. No, I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Yep, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Anyways, so you can do like a little synergy like that. In terms of the yellow, if you guys don't have Go tanks, then you guys can definitely do like a character like Yellow Tapion. Other yellow options, you pretty much might have to go down to the C tier spot and pick a character like the Synchro Gauge Gogeta. I know that I'm missing some other characters, like I know that, like there's Ultra Turles and Triku, but they're more for the blast based side of things, but you guys can definitely incorporate them. I just don't know their kits. It kind of just depends on like what characters you have. Maybe if you guys don't want to rock Beast, you guys can rock Ultra Janemba as a good alternative character to rock, or Ultra Turles. Purple, UGF Frieza, Garlic Jr., Red Ribbon Army Piccolo are pretty much like my favorite purples to rock from the movie side of things. And then yeah, and that's pretty much it with this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and rough, and I'm out. Peace.